From Snap in the 90s to Dots in 2020, LEGO is no stranger to releasing weird themes, and this year's newest addition to the lineup is no exception either. Releasing in March 2021, Vidiyo is the most recent theme by LEGO, and also one of the weirdest that I have ever witnessed in my 10 years of being a fan of LEGO. It's an okay theme. There's nothing too outstanding about it, except for maybe the wacky figures, and I find some of it to be honestly pretty bad, but overall, it's acceptable for me and for many others as well. And it seems that LEGO wants this theme to be liked, even going so far as to create an entirely new musical artist, Llama, who released their first single on February 19th and was, well, just like the theme, acceptable. Still, I think that this theme won't be successful, and there are multiple reasons why. But without further ado, let's start this video. Okay, so this video is going to be from a more objective point of view rather than a subjective point of view, which is why this aspect is first. I'm going to be arranging these from least damning to most damning for this theme, objectively, of course. Well, objectively, kind of ambiguous there, but you know. Believe me, if I was ranking these from least irritating to most irritating for me, this aspect would probably be the worst on this list. Let's start off with the biggest, most direct slap in the face to anyone wishing to collect the Vidiyo theme, the minifigure series. For this first wave of Vidiyo, LEGO decided to give us an extra minifigure series. They're not related to the actual collectible minifigures theme, but it kinda counts, right? Anyways, the worst part about this is not the extremely weird minifigures, as those might be my favorite part of this entire theme, but more so the packaging. For the first time, LEGO will use boxes to package a blind bag / collectible product. This is an extremely bad thing for us blind bag enthusiasts, as we can no longer feel through the packaging to acquire the figure we want. This might also be the worst aspect from this list in the long run, as LEGO might indeed switch to boxes for CMFs or other blind bags, which will turn away many from the theme, including myself. The second part of this aspect is the other collectible part of the new minifigure series, the beat bits. If you don't know what the beat bits are, they're basically 2x2 tiles with neat designs on them which you can scan in the Vidiyo app to unlock certain songs. However, here's a catch. LEGO is putting them at random inside the beat boxes, the bigger Vidiyo sets, and the minifigure series, meaning that there is no guarantee that a certain minifigure will come with certain beat bits. This might not be as bad as the packaging issue, but it will still upset quite a few people. With that being said, let's move on to our next aspect. You may be thinking, whoa, the entire idea of the theme? That seems like a pretty big thing to take on. And it is. But the truth is, this might also be an issue for it. Vidiyo is basically the LEGO equivalent of TikTok with only one difference. Well, two. Number one, Vidiyo is entirely LEGO-centric, but most importantly, TikTok is an incredibly diverse platform with an incredibly diverse amount of content. In fact, I would argue that about half of the people on TikTok aren't even using it for its intended use of being a lip-sync app. However, Vidiyo is more limited in its options, and by more limited, I mean extremely more limited. Let's go back to music on TikTok. By being so diversified in what you can do, there have been many artists who blew up on TikTok, namely Lil Nas X, creator of the very popular track Old Town Road, which actually holds the record for the most weeks spent at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts. Vidiyo just lets you use music from UMG, which LEGO actually did make a deal with last year. But unfortunately, this does leave many musical options out. And from my understanding, you only get a certain amount of songs when you download the app, and then you have to buy more sets to get more beat bits and unlock more content, which is significantly harder than it should be due to reasons that I mentioned before. To summarize, Vidiyo is just way too niche for its own good. Plus, only music videos? If they wanted to expand their audience, I think that they should have done a sort of merger with the LEGO Life app, which would probably allow for a more diverse array of content. Speaking of the app, let's move on to our final aspect for this video. this may be the theme's biggest downfall. Keep in mind, I will be using some points that Nikon Planet Ripple expressed in his LEGO Rewind 2020 video, so you can check that out. But yeah, the app. Oh boy, are there a lot of things to discuss in this. How about we start off with the fact that LEGO, in and of itself, is an interlocking plastic brick toy and not a digital tool. Sure, we have Mindstorms and the LEGO video games, but at least the two have either substance or are in no way connected to the traditional LEGO bricks. Heck, I don't even mind a theme interacting with an app. Just look at Inside. However, as Nikon Planet Ripple said, parents didn't really like the idea of a set or theme going alongside an app, as they usually see LEGO as a way to get kids away from their electronic devices. But at least the Hidden Side sets could still be played with without the app, as they had some really neat and creative builds. With Vidiyo, pretty much all of its value resides solely in the app, and many kids who play with LEGO just want that, to play with LEGO, not to have to install or acquire an entirely different piece of hardware. So they just get left with a weird display case, very few pieces, and a really bizarre minifigure which doesn't really fit into anything LEGO does. In fact, two of the biggest LEGO flops, Fusion and Life of George, were exactly that, sets with no substance that had to go alongside an app. Also, may I remind you that LEGO's tag game isn't really that strong? I mean, I have the Hidden Side app on my phone, and I did play it a couple of times, and it is actually pretty solid. I mean, definitely an improvement over previous games, and even some of the video footage that I have seen thus far doesn't look like it works bad, but still, LEGO in augmented reality has often resulted in failure, and if Hidden Side gets cancelled, I don't see why LEGO would do the same for Vidiyo, a theme with even less appeal. May I also remind you that a significant portion of LEGO's following/user base is adults. Even though LEGO is a children's toy, AFOLs still make up a good enough chunk of the LEGO community that their consensus can genuinely bring change to the company. Just look at the 501st Battle Pack movements. So far, I haven't seen much praise for Vidiyo coming from this big side of the community. And combined with the other elements I have mentioned, this theme seems to be a recipe for, well, failure. In the end, it doesn't really matter whether this theme fails or not. It will have made some people happy, maybe not for some, but it will have had its run, and hopefully LEGO can learn from this and get back to doing stuff the community actually wants. I would love a castle reboot. Maybe improve on Vidiyo. I'm pretty sure that my good friend A Bricks will do a video on this subject. Overall, I give it about 2 years at most, but then again, that's just my estimate, and I am notoriously pessimistic. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, pun intended, and if you did, feel free to give this a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. But anyways, I'll see you guys later. Until then, goodbye.